Hi, what's up, Chalkers? Welcome to the Let's Chalk About It podcast. If you're new to fitness or just want to hang with some like-minded fitness folk, then this is the place for you. Remember, it's always good to chalk about it.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Let's Chalk About It. I'm Kieran Innocent. This is the ever knowledgeable Chris McKenzie and the tank that is Scott Carson.
I'm a tank.
He's a tank.
Sam's a tank.
Oh yeah, that's true. He is a tank. He's doing a lot of outdoorsy stuff now,
Let's
isn't he?
get him on.
Yeah.
Like just living the outdoor life.
Oh God, I'd love to sit down with Sam for an hour. Over
Hey,
a bottle
maybe
of Moe, maybe a warm bath.
I don't think he knows what Moe is.
Would you like me to rub your shoulders? I can imagine being one of those tin baths.
Oh yeah.
And just like being heated by logs as well, like not even in the house.
Indoor
just...
brass.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be
And
Sam.
Scott walking over with a like top up of hot water for him. Just
It's not sexy
his
though,
hair
it's just
tied
like
in
a
a little
scrub and
ponytail.
brush.
just pushing him around. I'm just doing it. Right.
Oh God.
So in short,
So that's just
okay.
a start to this week's
I was going to
podcast.
say.
Yeah, that's how we decided to start.
Hi Sam.
Yeah.
we'd like to call you. What?
Yeah, maybe you want to be a guest. We'll have you on as a guest. We'll just ring you in. It'd be fun.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
If we crane him in over the fence.
Jeez. In his brass bath that he probably doesn't even own. We just tell him and he's got one.
I am jealous because obviously he lives in a beautiful area anyway. How much outdoorsy stuff he's doing at the minute.
Yeah,
What
just
are you
go-
saying about the area we live in then, Scott?
I'm pretty sure I
Industrial.
almost got stabbed 3 times just trying to get to your front door.
Is that just the
That was
area
just
I live in?
Yeah.
Actually, there was a stabbing this week.
Yeah.
And a
Yeah.
sexual assault. So, you know.
Yep.
Welcome to Northamptonshire.
Oh,
Anyway, let's crack on with some
Yeah.
genuine podcast questions, which I
Yeah.
believe you're going to
cool.
be leading with today.
That's right. I will lead. So we had quite a few questions
Scott's
this
got a
week.
job.
I know. I can actually, control some things.
Okay, cut his mic. Make sure he can't control anything.
Yeah, can't control
Right,
too much.
Let's start with let's start from the top. Really, first question
That's
I got
the
in
best
was
place to start.
what is your guys' most rewarding mentally workouts? Mentally rewarding workouts.
Mentally rewarding. Oh, wow.
Ones I don't have to do.
That's
The ones you can brush under the carpet, is that what you're saying?
that's
No, the one where I go downstairs, I sit on the couch, turn the telly on, and lay there and watch something really crap. No,
Yeah.
I'm joking, obviously.
I think the physically rewarding ones are the ones where you go in, you don't annihilate yourself, you stimulate enough stress to then improve for the next week. But mentally rewarding, definitely when you get some sort of personal record.
Yeah.
When you get like a rep PR or
I
you've hit a new max.
have 2 that I think of, which is doing 5-3-1 squat, where you do just a big top set, big open set, and it's like, oh, you're supposed to do 5s and you get 14. They're great.
At the beginning of 5-3-1 when you can
start 5-3-1, and it's like, oh yeah, you need to hit this for 5+, and you get like 26. You're like,
It's
just
you-
cap it, and
Yeah.
I'll cap you. Just carry on.
It's not as many reps as possible if I
Yeah.
cap it.
I think that, and then just like doing triathlons was just that long run. You get 1 day a week where you just do a long run.
Running.
Yeah, like a couple of hours. And you don't care about distance, you're just doing a run. And I love them because you can just zone out, and it's like, mindfulness.
People talk about that, the runner's high, don't they? Like, you get that kind of...
Yeah.
It's kind of something that I'd like to do, but I just don't like running, so I think maybe I can find it for something else. I don't know if you get like a What's It high, or like a Subway high, or...
Yeah, we get
I don't
those all
even
the
eat
time.
any of it. Well, I eat What's It's, but I'm not eating anything else. But yeah, I think I'd like to try that and just see if I
Yeah.
I don't get a runner's high.
I don't get
I want to lay down and die.
I don't think you need to go out for like a long run. If you went somewhere where it's like, I don't know, scenery, and like you can just really like just go for a long walk,
You don't have to
hiking,
run.
whatever.
Yeah. It's just that kind of, that time where, I think of it like, runner's highs after. Afterwards you get that sort of like endorphin. You're like, oh yeah. Because starting a run
it's
is
finished.
always shit. You got to start a run and be like, I'm going to have a heart attack. I've started too fast. and that's just standing up after tying shoes, and
And you get past that wall 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's like when you're in your stride and you're not out of breath and you're just plodding along, and you just everything's doing something, so your brain just gets to shut off. You just get to be in your head.
Nice, I like it.
Like that.
Being in my head's a very scary place to be, so maybe that's why I don't like running.
But if you spend more time in there, you tame the beast, right?
No, it'd probably get worse. I've got more time to think about things. That's when shit gets real.
From a run, and so it's like, how are you doing? You just grab a gun.
Yeah, just got something I want to just. Holy hell!
I've just got one laying around in the house just in case. Just in case I decide I'm going to go out for a run.
You're saying you're James Bond, are you?
No, I'm not.
Always got a gun around.
Should I go on to the next question?
Yeah.
So someone's asked here, what are your top 5 gym songs? But I think we should just do one each.
Oh man, 5.
I could not do 5.
No, it'd just be like best like.
Have you got more than 5? Is that the problem?
I could do like one that is my favourite, but I have after that all the rest kind of fall into the similar sort of. I could probably do 5. I could probably do 5, but
I'll do 1 or 2. I don't really mind.
Yeah, I'm not a big music fan. Like, I'm not a big music fan. I like music, but I'm not like someone who can just be like, oh yeah, I like this band, these songs. I've just listened.
It's
Whatever's
like saying
on.
favourite films. It's like, you just can't.
It's like I normally jump onto Amazon Music and I just go find a playlist and I just play that, and then I'll just work out. And if something good comes up, I'm like, oh, I love this song. But it's nothing that I go, I need this song on to.
I think I only listen to music in the gym or when I'm training. Don't really tend to listen to it too much.
Yeah,
I mainly listen to it like when I'm at home working.
Do you?
Just listen to musical podcasts.
So go.
Yeah, I was about to say mainly
go to top
podcasts.
training shop songs. 2.
I'll do 3 because I do have a controversial one in there.
All right.
Number 1 we did when we did the Combine Challenge, which was Welcome Home, Code in Cambria.
Oh, you cannot have that.
Did that play when we did that?
I've seen it like 10 times live.
You do not get to have that song.
That's my song. So.
Oh, but it's Kieran's intro music.
It was my old wrestling music.
Right, well, Scott, I like your contribution there. You can have that one.
Oh,
just to annoy Kieran.
But yeah, that's always because it's just when the intro hits. You've got a lot of time as well, so you can do sets.
Did you have an intro song?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I had a few.
Are you going to choose his?
No, I can tell you what his first one was.
Oh God, we're going to do this on the podcast.
Go for it. Oh,
we're literally
always
going to
get
do
to
this on the
wrestling,
podcast.
so let's talk about wrestling.
No. I had nothing to do with bringing this into wrestling today.
You named a wrestling song.
It's not a wrestling song.
Actually, it was
it's my
because
favourite
it
band.
was an NXT song. That's why I had to change it.
Actually, me and the sound guy Mark heard it on Kerrang.
Oh, you've
like 2003.
You've personified him now. How do you know he has a name?
I think I've mentioned Mark in every podcast.
Just the sound guy would have been too good for so long.
Yeah, I think it was you who told me about it, or we heard it on Kerrang.
There we go.
And I was like, I'm having that as my entrance music, and I had it for a long time.
Yeah,
For a good few years.
I'm glad we avoided the story about.
I've not avoided it. Don't
music.
you worry.
Let's leave it for another day.
Just
Let's
brought it
leave
back up,
that.
didn't he?
Let's
So
leave that
what was yours
cliffhanger.
again?
What is entrance music?
No, your top gym song. That one.
It would be Welcome Home by Cody and Cambria.
Cody and Canberra.
Coheed
Oh, Coheed.
and Cambria, yeah.
Oh, got it.
Codeine and
Just because I want to make sure people listen to it.
Yeah.
Mine is Submersed and their song Hollow.
Yeah.
Love that one.
You really like the Doom theme thing as well, don't you?
Oh yeah, and
the
yeah,
Doom
any Doom soundtrack or the new ones, the soundtracks are just insane
Euphoria
metal.
and Gent goes together with you. Just like hard, chuggy music or a Nolan film.
Oh yeah,
That's
the theme for Interstellar would be amazing.
yeah, it's true.
You just have.
But I do prefer to train to heavy, so yeah, like Submersed. Slipknot's good.
My controversial win is I like Hide and Seek by Imogen Heap while training. That's a very mellow song. And I can't remember. There was a female powerlifter's name, which has escaped me, and she did a study on listening to ambient music while training, and it actually improves muscle growth because you don't get as hyped up, and so you end up getting better sets. Because you're not sitting there going, and then going to pull something, and you've just exerted all that energy. I don't know. She was an IPF lifter from Canada. I can't remember. She's not. She wasn't a big. She wasn't a big lifter, but she was a big YouTuber. Okay. I can't remember. But yeah,
ambient music.
Ambient music.
So softer music.
Yeah, well, they say the same for fighters, don't they? A lot of them have like classical and things like that instead of having. You can get in the right mindset rather than stuff where they're.
That's got to be something that changes. Talking about entrance music and fighters, like when they're coming in, it's like they warm up, and there's got to be 20 minutes before they're actually fighting after they've warmed up. It's just like something. I think in boxing, I think UFC is similar. That just needs to change.
Like,
just
imagine
so weird.
They're
just kind of like waiting,
sitting there riddled with nerves. Not listening to anything or listening to, I don't know,
having trained for 12 weeks for it,
and you're just like, then you go and shoot up a school or something. It's like the ambient stuff. I think that's what I think when I think people that listen to Cannibal Corpse.
That went dark real quick. That did.
Why?
We do not condone that, people. Just want to clarify.
Scott does.
No, I don't condone listening to Cannibal Corpse either, to be honest.
Didn't like Mike Tyson or someone like that come out with no music?
Always no music.
Just silence.
No music, and just black trunks.
And rarely any
no sponsors
clothes.
either, did he?
It was just like...
Didn't he come down to like industrial noises once? Like it was just
Not
like
sure.
chains.
That's just him walking. That was just... Do you know that was
That's
probably the guy shitting himself in the ring, knowing he's got to go against Mike Tyson. It's like, oh, hang on a minute. Anyone got to change his shorts?
He did come out once to this just like guitar riff, but it was just clearly like played for him, and it was just like a horrid, just guttural guitar playing, and he was just like coming out like obviously a lunatic that he is. What's your top then? Training song?
If you had to.
Probably Disturbed. Get Down with the Sickness.
Oh, okay, classic.
Just because that's it. It brings back old wrestling memories from when I was younger, like music videos and shit like that. But it's also got that kind of that build up to it, where you can kind of just let that play in your head, and then that kind of gets you the right. Okay, I'm about ready to lift. As soon as he does his, I'm not even going to try it, but his special voice intro that he does in most of his songs. So yeah, I would probably say that's my
good
go-to.
question.
Yeah, I like that question. Yeah, thanks, Tom. Okay, here's another one. Most loved versus most hated movement and why?
Oh, well, I hate all of them.
Jim Willer says that. He's like, a new lifter where they're like, oh, I love pressing, I love deadlift more. And then he says, an old lifter where they go, I hate all of them.
Well, I am the oldest lifter here, so I'm allowed to say
I don't
I
think we're
hate
old
them.
lifters yet, so let's just enjoy it. Still.
No, I can just say I'm the oldest lifter here. Technically, I'm not wrong.
Well, let's start on a negative. Let's go for worst first.
I've got this
difficult.
I've got this straight off the bat.
Okay.
Bent over rows.
Bet you do hate
I
bend over
hate
row.
bent over rows.
Yeah.
Oh, you go. I can't even think of the worst.
Lunges, hate them.
Ooh.
Hate lunges with a passion. I either injure myself or complain the whole time.
Or both.
Because I'm gonna get injured. See?
Is it like a slightly on purpose thing?
Yeah, it's like I'm doing a lunge and I just twist my hips.
You walk towards the lunge area and you fall over.
Family Guy style, straight on your face.
Yes.
No scene in between.
Yeah, I pick up the dumbbells, just start lunges. I'm like, how do I make myself get sciatica right now?
The lunges, the dumbbells like you're doing it now.
Yeah.
Pulls out his gun.
Chris.
Most hated. Oh.
Hated. One that you just do not like to do.
Do you know
I
what?
wouldn't do it. I just wouldn't
But
do
that
it.
you do, do. Well, there must be one that you dislike.
I'm dreading how long it's going to take him to answer the movements he likes the most.
No, I know
if he's
what
saying
I'm
he goes,
gonna say
I
there.
can't even
And wheel.
think of one.
I'm so indecisive. Why can't I think?
Oh, there must be something you hate doing. Going home, I think, is what you hate the most, isn't it? Leaving the gym.
Going? Yeah.
Like, grabbing onto the
The
equipment.
gym is home.
No!
Going to the house. The gym is home. Oh, so useless.
Bicep curls.
I'm going to come in
hammer
here one
curls.
day and he's going to be asleep on the floor in a sleeping bag, isn't he?
Yeah.
Just
Sorry I didn't text. Straight asleep.
you got to have something. Come on.
Right. Total bane of my life, and it's definitely plank. Really hate doing planks.
Yeah,
you tell yourself you can do them. You program them into your workouts. Be just like, this is just going to be so nasty. So I do things like, so I don't have to lie there for like 2 minutes planking. I'll just put like weights on my back or try and make it more difficult for myself.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, get up, get it done. Oh, you'll do 3 of those. No, I'm just going to do 2. That's it. I'm going.
Isn't there like really crazy long records for plank?
Oh yeah, like
They are so irrelevant to my life, but yeah.
2 days or something.
In fact, he's still there now. He's just
But like
not
a
even sure
tiny
how long it's
bushman
gonna
from
be.
Australia just lives like that. Fights geckos.
No, but I think it is stupid long. It is multiple hours.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure it's like several hours of like. How do you ever find out in the first place you can do that?
Why would you find out?
Well, yeah, that's the other side of it. You're
People
like,
love
do you know
endurance
what?
stuff, don't they?
I'm just going to lay on the
That's
floor
it,
in a
yeah.
plank for 3 hours.
Why does anyone do anything that's hard?
Well, that's true. That is very true. Not only do we do something that's hard, we then decide to talk about it once a week as well.
But it's better to do intense, hard stuff like weight training.
He likes
Like,
his
what's the
tense,
point in
doesn't he?
planks?
It's
Intense. Well, yeah, a 9-hour plank would be more difficult. Yeah,
That's why we don't do them.
less useful, a lot less useful, but
Sitting in the whole of a squat, like 180 on your back for 7 hours. It's like, that's not going to be fun.
Oh,
you wouldn't survive. we would die. So,
what about favourite then?
our favourite squat, without question. I'm glad I went first because just like, oh, I was going to say squat, but just love it. Just psychological, systemic stress. You can just train it for, never get bored of it. Just love squatting.
Yeah.
Great fun.
See,
It's the start of powerlifting.
mine used to be.
It's how the
used to be
powerlifting
squat.
opens up.
I used to love squatting, but ever since I knackered up my quad, it's like torture every time now because I'm not squatting fun and heavy.
It'll
Do you think-
heal. You'll heal up, mate.
Do you think some of that's psychological as well?
Yeah,
'Cause
I
obviously
mean, it's
you-
feeling
you
great
bailed on a
yesterday,
lift.
feeling great today. I've squatted 3 times this week. It's feeling a lot better, but it's all lightweight, 60 kilo, 100
Nice.
kilo, not much.
You can't say lightweight without saying lightweight, baby.
Yeah,
Come on now. Ain't nothing but a peanut.
I say it while crying because it's true. Lightweight, baby.
Just dabbing a tear away.
I think Ronnie's now in his gym in Texas, like doing training. And he's like, "Wow, I'm now really doing lightweight for the first time in his life."
But the thing is,
It's really is lightweight, baby.
it's probably still heavier than most people.
I know, machine.
Even in his like whole fused spine, he's still out
Okay.
working out and doing all that shit. He's
Yeah.
The same
crazy,
form.
crazy man.
I'm gonna go with alternating dumbbell presses.
Oh,
Love
you
'em.
do like them, don't you?
I do love an
Oh
alternating dumbbell
man,
press.
you surprised me.
We
Yeah.
did those stupid dumbbells, didn't we? Where they
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen. Yeah, we done dumbbells, but we put 10 kilos either side
Yeah.
with those dumbbells.
And it looks like it'd be
hey,
fine.
Yeah, it's really hard to get them on your legs because you've got the clips in the way. So it's not like normal dumbbells where you can just rest them on your thighs and throw them up.
Yeah,
And then obviously when you throw them up, the discs are so big, it's like
You have to
Get out of the way.
dodge them.
it's like,
We need more 5 kilo plates.
they should put that into like the Marines test. Just plates coming at your head. Oh, now you got to press them.
Yeah.
yeah. It's,
What about you?
You surprised me.
Oh.
Press it, man. I thought you were going to say squat or deads or something.
Squat was
Bench?
Squat was up there. You
You
know,
like benching?
Squat P
Your bench has
Carson.
been your bench has been going up.
Yeah, but I don't enjoy it. I just
Like
do
we
it.
said, we hit them all.
Yeah, I just unrack it and go, and then I go home. I wish I did alternating dumbbell presses instead.
Yeah, she just done my favourite, stupid Chris. Tell me what to do. Making programs.
for me, probably deadlifts.
Deads.
Yeah,
There's just
yours
that
has
kind
been
of
blown up.
that all-round lift. I think it's just
It is,
something.
yeah.
There's something just
You can't cheat picking something off the floor.
no. There's something kind of caveman about just
Yeah.
lifting something clean off the floor.
I mean,
like
it's
that.
sort
There's no. Although there's a lot of technique to it, but it's that kind of raw. It's just you in the weight, and that's
Yeah,
it. And you just
But
got to go.
that's
pick
why
that
I
up.
love squat over deadlift because it's like a lot of people can go in the gym and be like quite good at deadlift straight off because it's just less technical, I believe. But squat, no one goes in there and they're like squatting lots of weight straight away. You got to learn it. You got to really look at the skill, look at positioning, and then improve and just be dedicated session after session. But deadlifts, you can have like an ability with deadlifts if you like. But that's why I love squat more. But deadlift, yeah, definitely just raw, get up and go.
To
do
you,
it.
there is only 3 lifts, right?
Yeah, I'm like, what
doesn't do
I'm
anything
like,
else.
there's more? What are you talking about?
How can I just out of 3 of them?
It's just an odd number.
If you had to pick one of the 3, Chris, what is it you wouldn't do?
Of those 3?
Yeah, just those 3.
Oh, what?
Yeah, the big 3.
I do like programs where someone's like maybe if they're a bit older, they've got injuries, and it's like, oh, I just do press, as in overhead press and deadlift, or they just do like squat and bench.
Yeah.
Just try and get full body, or maybe they can't train as often as other people. So I do like omitting some of the lifts isn't bad all the time. If I had to get rid of one.
So someone holds a gun to your head, probably Scott, and says, you have to lose one of those lifts.
Listens to that band that he
Yeah,
hates.
exactly.
Oh, man.
What are you going to lose?
Deads. So I can at least train bench.
I agree.
Squat and bench. Be good fun.
Yeah.
Next question.
Yeah, next question.
Okay, this
You're making me think of
Glenn.
a life with no deads. Get on with it.
Yeah, I know, I thought he was going to explode. You know that bit in... oh, God.
Total Recall.
Yeah.
I knew you were going to say that.
100% thought his face was going to start ballooning up. He's just going to start screaming.
No deadlifts.
No deadlifts.
You've been working on your Arnie impression.
Just for that one bit.
Right, this question's from Glenn. It's like...
Actual Glenn.
Actual Glenn.
It's actual Glenn.
It is, yeah.
Oh, no way.
Way! Who the hell's Glenn?
What is your thoughts on training without having a goal?
Oh,
So just training for training's sake.
so exercising, not training.
Yeah, it's not training, is it? It's exercising.
Oh, man.
Working out.
I think it's good to do, even if you haven't got a goal, because it's so good for your mental
At
health.
least you're doing something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
At least
you're going to
doing
get some
something.
kind of endorphins out of it. You're going to get, you're going to be healthier out of it. You might, make yourself live a little bit longer. You're getting up, you're moving. I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
I think you have to be in a position where training super hard all the time, it's not optimal. So that's the time when you think, well, maybe I don't have a real specific goal.
Yeah.
Like you're not trying to get to a certain body weight, you're not trying to get to a certain level of strength or fitness. Then, yeah, you can just go and do whatever you feel like, whether it's your favorite thing outside the gym or in the gym. Yeah, you could do it, but it's just you're in a position, you're either too old or you're too injured, or you've just got literally no time with it. If you're really focused on, I don't know, your business and your life, then yeah, train without a goal, but it's utterly pointless unless you've got a really extenuating circumstances.
I mean, I trained when I left wrestling and I'd done the first powerlifting comp. I was still training, but I didn't have any. I wasn't going to compete. I wasn't wrestling anymore, but I needed to train. I needed to do something, but it wasn't that I had a goal in mind. I wasn't going to, stick on 20 pounds of muscle, or I wasn't going to go and compete at the next powerlifting comp. So
you're exercising because that's the effect you have today. What's it going to feel like today? Sweating, or that session really beat me up, and then you feel better afterwards. But yeah. Training's always going to be better.
Do you know, it's also
Always.
good to keep you just chilled. Because I think sometimes if you don't do something, you get a kind of pent up energy, because we are, especially if you've got a desk job or, you're in an office and you get to the point where you just sat there, you're not doing anything, little things start to frustrate you. And I think just going and doing something gets rid of that frustration. It does just mellow you out a little bit. You can, if someone pisses you off and you ain't trained for like 4 days, it just seems to push that over the edge that little bit more.
Yeah.
Whereas if you've gone and you've trained and then someone pisses you off, you just kind of be like, yeah, whatever. And you just walk off. Like you just...
Yeah.
Well,
whereas
to stick on the, I know what you mean, but to stick on the question, I think training, so always getting better, progressing, we just owe it to like our genetics. So obviously having ancestors, that sort of thing, you've just got to always push yourself. It's part of like your DNA to get stronger, get fitter, push yourself in some way physically, go through hardship physically. If we're not going to always do it, mentally, then you got to push yourself.
Well, that would have been normal day, wouldn't it? A normal day would have been going out, finding food, finding warmth, any of the things like that. So to just be sat at a desk all day doing nothing for entirety, I think eventually it'll drive you insane.
Yes, you've got to train.
Yeah.
But
I don't think our ancestors looked at a buffalo and went like, right, I got a 200 kilo buffalo yesterday. I need to get a 205 kilo buffalo today.
They probably did.
Maybe they did. Maybe they only...
They're like, I want that little
warm
runny
meat.
one that's limping. I'm going to go with that one. That one's an easy meal. Less calories burnt.
Or what's that old story when the dude he gets a calf, picks up every day because it grows. He's getting stronger.
Oh, what's that guy's name?
I can't remember.
He's like one of Ross Edgley's...
Is it Norse or Greek? I can't remember.
It's Greek. The story's Greek.
Where he carried a calf, the calf become a cow, and it was the constant weight.
I don't even want to guess the name. I'll get some ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm sure there's like many T-shirts and stuff with it on.
Aristotle.
Let's go with that one. Yeah,
it's someone like that. Let's just say that.
He created like logic and stuff. He's quite fascinating.
Yeah.
Maybe we should ask the sound man to Google it for us.
Theories.
I mean, I think
young Mark's on it.
I think talking
Sound
about
guy,
it as well,
can you check that for us?
like what I need to think of what a person's point of a goal is. Like not their point. What's their definition of a goal? Because you go into a workout, you have micro goals. You pick up a weight and be like, right, I'm gonna do this one for 12. You might not want to do 12 next week or anything, but you've got a goal in that moment, in that time. You step on a treadmill and put 20 minutes down.
That's what I mean.
Still a goal.
So you're saying there's always a goal?
There's always a goal.
There is, and you'll be drawn
Because
towards
human
it no matter
beings,
what.
we always have goals.
Yeah, you'll be drawn towards it. So even if you think, if you're being really lazy and you've not set yourself up for some, short-term and long-term goals, and you've just said, I'm just going to go in and do whatever today, then you're going to pick something at workout to go, I'm going to try this. That's you trying to actually have an effective workout without you knowing it.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool.
So you think no?
Next question then.
I
think what Scott said actually is probably quite true, is that you always have a goal, whether you think you've got a goal or not.
it depends. I mean, you don't need to have this big, elaborate goal. You don't need to think like training programs. My biggest, when I moved my squat up from a 150 squat to a 240, it was just, I'm going to go in every day and squat 200. Like, I'm just going to squat weight till I get to 200, and then I'm just going to squat as heavy as I can every day. And it wasn't really a goal, but
there was a goal.
But like, it wasn't like
there was a long-term goal.
It wasn't like
You're right, Kieran.
periodization.
No, but your goal was, I'm going to go in and squat as heavy as I can for as long as I can.
Is that just Bulgarian?
I don't know.
What that was?
Who knows what they do?
Crazy. That's what I did.
Who knows what they really do in there? Bulgarian training.
Yeah. Right. Should I look at another question?
Cheers, Glenn.
Yeah. Thanks, Glenn. That was a great question. Milo. That's it.
Milo.
Yeah.
God, that doesn't sound anywhere near as interesting as we thought it would be.
Famous wrestler in ancient Greece.
Of course, he was a wrestler.
Yeah.
They're strong as hell.
Yeah, they are.
He's wrestling.
I can't do it anymore, can I? It's just ex-wrestler. It doesn't count.
You guys are wrestlers. You are always wrestlers.
Once a wrestler, always a wrestler.
Okay, this question is from from Sean. He's like, do you think your training affects your mental health with highs and lows?
100%.
Absolutely massively. Of course it does, yeah.
100%. That's it. End of question. What's the next one? No,
That was
I'm
it.
joking.
I mean, in like lockdown, just I couldn't train for obvious reasons.
I mean-
and
I just you say like definitely, but like, what are the lows in training? Is it just not other than just missing a lift?
Well, that's one of them, though. I was about to go straight to it. Is if you miss a lift that you think you could have got, that plays on. Well, not for Chris because he just switches off like a robot. But that plays on your mind, especially if you bail a lift. So if you get underneath a lift and you can't get back up again and you bail it, every time you go back to the bar and there's that kind of weight on it, you're thinking in your head, am I going to bail this? Am I going to be able to get back up from it? So I think that's got to play on your mental health. Not in a way that I don't think it's like it gives you bad mental health. Like I don't think it's like it's not the same as saying you're suicidal or those kind of levels. I'm talking like very minor. It's playing on your mind. It's probably a better way of saying it. It doesn't really affect your mental health.
I've had a great. I've PR'd, racked PR, and I'm miserable. Like just miserable, and I'm like, well, what does that say about me? Why is that? Why is that kicked? I've just PR'd it. I hit a 220 squat, racked it, and I was like, why do I feel miserable?
well, because the weekly and the daily drain of training,
that's it.
Your adrenals are fired. You are probably quite a bit lower at night time after you've trained, even though you've obviously been really, really high during training. But that weekly exposure to that is just like someone that's like really, really maybe got their adrenals are fired at work all day and they're feeling a bit anxious and then they're a bit lower at night. So it's a similar thing in terms of how fried you're going to feel, but that will affect your mental health in a bad way. I think training for too long, really, really intense, will start to drain you and it will become a mental stress as well. So there is like we were saying the other week about performing and competing isn't always healthy, because it's not. Because you will get to a point where you're pushing your body so far, you will feel drained, and part of that will be that you're much lower after training because of hormones, because of just pushing yourself, because you're pushing past your recovery period wrongfully, and you're fatigued. So it's almost like the similar negative behaviours and feelings that are symptomatic of depression, anxiety, that sort of thing. So training is linked with those, but you've just got to balance it well and make sure you're aware of it all. I think awareness is the main thing.
Yeah. I think coming off the back of what you just said as well, though, is if you've got the downside of what you just mentioned, and that if you overtrain, it's not overtraining.
Symptomatic. I mean, like training will beat you up. I'm not saying that it.
But if
it's
you
going to smash you into the ground, like mentally.
Yeah, if you then achieve what you've set out for,
yep,
that goal that you hit after being in those downs, and you then go out there and you smash the 100 meters and you win it and you do all those other things.
Yeah.
The high you're going to get off the back of that is going to be that even more elaborate or even more interesting to you, because it's going to be like a high that you're probably never going to be able to get again.
It's true. Like when you hit like big goals, it's going to feel great. But like what Scott's talking about, when he hit his PR and he sort of I should feel pretty rubbish. It's because he's still seeing it as like a process, and he's probably not like over the moon with how he's not the first guy to squat 220 or 240 or whatever. He's not.
Yeah, Scott.
So it's about.
So if you didn't feel shit, you do now.
It's true.
It's about having a being process driven. So like, I know that I'm not going to be like too chuffed with personal records until I'm really close to my long term goals. So it's just sometimes you're not always jumping around doing cartwheels. It's a process. Yes, I did well there, and I've improved, but I need to keep going, keep using all of that positive behaviours, keep going forward.
Yeah.
I think also if you do struggle with your mental health, which I do, even when you think you're going to get that euphoria at the end, sometimes you don't. And it's just because, it's just something inside me. It's like, I've done triathlons and finished them. I was like, I should feel great right now. And you just feel empty.
Right.
It's like, oh, that thing it's done. Now what?
Because you're enjoying the process. You're loving the journey was important for you, not this.
And I think obviously I've had highs, I've absolutely dumped lifts and still had a great high. I've missed big PRs and be like, nah, it was great.
Still a good workout.
Still pinned them,
Yeah.
But it's just it kind of depends on your mind frame at the time, and where you are. It's just making sure you are aware of that. I wasn't at the time, so I beat myself up about it. Whereas now, you try and concentrate on it.
It's interesting. How do you feel? Like, it's hard to say without knowing. Everyone's mental health is different, so everyone's version of what mental health is very different. That's why it's so hard to just be like, right, okay, this is what you need to do, and you're going to get better from that. It's never going to work. But from your mental health, how do you feel that just general day-to-day training helps all round, rather than just having odd days where it's up and down?
Yeah.
If you felt that you didn't train, so if you had like a month where you didn't train at all, would your mental health be worse? Would it be, the same? Do you feel better when you've trained, or?
See, I feel like I'm so young into my journey that I don't really know. Because I've smashed weeks of training, went in, done everything I was supposed to do or more so, and it just doesn't feel great at the end. And there's some days I've missed a few days of training, but I feel great because the days that I did train, it worked out well. And it's just finding that balance. And maybe there's something else going on, Yeah. Diet's a big thing for me as well.
Something a bit deeper, and training can feel a bit fleeting and superficial sometimes, can't it? When you're not really happy and trying to focus on yourself internally, like mentally. Yeah,
I think that's a good point. I think it's trying to roll everyone's mental health into the same things. Very hard to do.
Definitely.
It's impossible. But to sort of understand that somebody's journey might be slightly different to theirs might be a help. And mental health is something I'd love to touch on this podcast, but I'd like to do it maybe get someone on who has got a lot more knowledge than I've got, and I'm presuming everyone in this room has got, so that we can have a proper.
Talk about it. You don't need to have.
No, I think I'd like to have an expert. I think for my own understanding, I think it'd be better to have
good idea.
Someone on who knows what they're talking about, and not only that, someone that can advise on where you need to go if you've got problems with mental health. So I've had someone fairly close to me, and you knew him too for a long time, who suffered with mental health, and I'm not going to say it didn't end well. It definitely didn't end well, and so it'd be quite nice to touch on that at some point. I think
getting an understanding for those around that have suffered with it. Then we'll definitely get someone on, won't we? I think finish on the positives, because it sounds like we're kind of saying
we haven't got to that half of the question.
It's kind of like we were saying, it's not always as great to go out and exercising, but life is totally about purpose, and I think a lot of mental. This is not a big, broad, sweeping statement, but like a lot of poor mental health and a lot of the disorders that come with it come from only sometimes lack of control. And when people start to train and start to have a daily focus, they get a real purpose in their life.
They feel in control.
Life is just about purpose. So go and train, and you'll have the best time ever. If you find that thing you love, it's probably stick with strength training. But weightlifting,
you find that thing you love, and it's not CrossFit,
and it's the same as what I love.
Long distance running,
powerlifting, weightlifting. Go try new things. There was just like something I was just flicking through on Instagram. It was like just someone was talking about their gym journey, and then they had a bit of personal training, and their coach was like, I'm doing this. I'm now coaching Olympic lifting because I've actually been doing that my own for years. So do you want to try some? And then this girl went on to get coached by her personal trainer, or personal coach, and now she's Olympic lifting. She's like, I'm 4 competitions in, absolutely loving it. And I was like, that's just awesome. So find what you love doing.
Yeah.
Just
Do more of it.
Get your purpose, get your goals.
That's it, yeah.
Don't train without a goal.
Enjoy the process.
If you love doing it, do it.
Yeah.
And do it as often as you can, because that's only going to help.
Unless it's like mowing down people with your car. I was trying to match your comment earlier.
Well, I seen on the podcast once. I could do this like every podcast.
No. Kieran's southern part of this podcast.
Yeah, well, I was watching a podcast.
The one guy that
once,
watches the show.
and he said, if it feels good, do it. So I'll be running over people every day. Okay, maybe not.
So yeah, it's just like massive positive. So of course
There
it
is,
affects mental health.
Yeah.
It's great
Yeah,
to always
definitely.
talk about as well.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Any other questions?
No, that was it for this week.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's some quite good questions in there, though.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm sure there's more, but I have not checked the Instas since asking. So that was the ones prepared before.
Well, to be perfectly honest, to have what we've had on there so far, that was great. And I don't think we have any issues with that. I'm just going to check to make sure we haven't got anything outstanding on mine. And then we can just finish the podcast, have a chit-chat about general things. Because I haven't seen you guys this week.
No.
Not really, have I?
Anything you wanted to bring up? Anything like this getting on your goat a little bit?
You? No,
Yeah, I do annoy you quite a lot. Let's just
no
have it out.
headphones, you can see
You,
it
Chris.
to me guts. No.
But look.
No, man.
Got
Yeah, I know. I wonder where they come from. And to be fair, we didn't even need them in the end.
I mean,
Yeah.
how are you surviving being back in a school around children?
Really enjoying it.
Yeah.
Enjoying it. It's a lot of changes to get used to, daily routines, but you got to keep your expectations high. And I'm enjoying it being back. It's good, and like I say, lots of change. You just got to get used to it. Get about your day. I'm moving across all different
Is this like
classrooms.
the PPE stuff that's changed mainly, or is there other
We
things?
don't have that, so it's kind of like we've got to hand sanitize as often as you can.
Yeah.
We're not really sharing stuff in classrooms, so you can't just like, hey, glue this in. Hey, oh, you haven't got a pen. It's kind of a bit more difficult there.
Hey, cough in my mouth. Can't do that no?
They can't. It's not allowed.
Was
no.
it only me that did that in PE?
It's probably what you
Isn't
did,
that
see
like-
teacher.
Isn't that like an arrestable offence now?
It is, yeah. Yeah.
So we're not using face masks, but if it went into like local lockdown, then we'd wear them. But yeah, just keep your distance, and it's still just better to see them face to face rather than online learning or live lessons and stuff, which I enjoy doing. But
Yeah.
it's better to be in the classroom with them, just
What
teaching.
are the students like? How do they take it? Are they just?
I mean, on the surface, I think they're all okay. But it's
Yeah.
not to say that not every single one of them isn't probably a little bit anxious at times. But there's ones that's going to be the more aware, intelligent ones. The ones
Yeah.
that are kind of not really aware anyway, and
I
probably
thought they'd just be happy to be back in school.
I think all of them pretty much are on some sort of level. And
Yeah.
the ones that maybe don't always see the value of school, and they just kind of maybe they just go around and see it a bit more of a social event with these lessons they have to do, then part of them still wants to be there and learning. But then the ones that are really driven and they're in there, then it's great to see them, and they're just taking it in their stride, I believe, and they're just having some good lessons again. And we've got to catch up on some work.
I did see, just on the COVID thing, that on Twitter, I think it was yesterday, that S Club 7 was was trending. And this just goes to prove what the British humour is. So S Club 7 was trending for no reason whatsoever.
The sixth thing.
Apart from the fact that that now you're only allowed to have 6 people
The
together.
rule of 6,
So someone has literally put
says Boris.
5's okay, as in the band,
Hey.
but S Club 7 are fucked. And then someone else, there was another one that was, well, I've got some bad news for the Seven Dwarfs. And someone put,
Where are you
well,
getting these, Kieran?
one of them's
Where are you
not-
getting them?
one of them's...
Yes, that's
Well,
what
the
we
best thing
need.
is that one of them it said on it, one of them's not happy, obviously, because of the name of the dwarf. But it doesn't matter because they're all going to work. So as long as they're going to work, they can do it in more than groups of 6. But that did crack me up. The fact that is like the British humour all in is trending of S Club 7 just because they can't perform because there's 7 of them.
Oh yeah, amongst all of the rhetoric and silly stuff going on with COVID, it's like British humour will find some way to find like some dude that's just done something silly. It's like, nah, we want to focus on this one for instead of COVID. Like, we'll just laugh at this guy.
Yeah, it was good times.
Yeah.
I think we've answered all the questions correctly. Well, not correctly, but we've answered the questions. I think we've.
Lunges are definitely the worst exercise, so I believe that was correct.
I think I thought about it long enough, but yeah, planking's just nasty as hell.
Yeah, but when you've got that guy and that there's that cliff and you've got to get across it, and he's like, "Oh, I can plank over it. You can walk over me." You'll be like,
"I'm not
so glad you did planks for 3.5 hours."
Because now what are you, Moses? All my people can now go across this guy's planking.
But, hey, maybe that'll be the modern day.
You're looking a bit more like it, or Noah. Maybe he's going to build an ark with that beard.
Oh, maybe
with the beard.
Not with your beard, but you with the beard will build an ark.
Wind it round. I'm not going to have 2 of every animal, though. What else could we do instead of that? 2 of every weightlifting piece of equipment. 2 of every chocolate bar.
I think just make an arc and
I'm
invite
just
no
waving
one.
at everybody. I've got them all.
It's like, hey,
That selfish guy. We're going to get annihilated by a flood, and he's just taking chocolate bars onto his ark.
Nancy be like, look, I'm a bit of an introvert, so I'm just going to go on the boat on my own. I don't really like people.
Yeah. That's why Noah had every animal, right?
Ever.
What kind of ark have you got?
I don't know why.
You can
It's a
row
rowing
it.
boat.
Just a massive rowing ark.
Little
That's what
tiny
I've been training
handle.
for. Row my ark.
It's just a concept rower that's just linked to this big machine.
Why are we even rowing it?
It tells you your time per 500 metres.
Slow, I'm going to guess.
Distance
Very
per
slow.
decades.
4 days per 500 metres.
Wasn't there a film about that recently? Was it like, what was the film where they all end up on a massive boat? So it was like an end of the world type
Titanic.
film.
That Titanic in reverse.
Yeah, I think you're talking
They
about
end up on
Titanic.
the boat.
Titanic 2, The Revenge.
Just comes back out.
Yeah, it just comes back out. It's like a zombie boat movie. That would be fantastic.
Oh,
you know, with the
DiCaprio's there as a zombie because he's got to come back. Oh, he would nail that film.
Oh, could you imagine that? Just copywriting that now. That
Kate Winslet and
Titanic,
him are
the
married.
zombie movie, is going to happen. The
Sorry,
ghost
Rose. It's not Kate Winslet. Rose would marry the zombie.
Rose,
He's going to
yeah.
come back for her, though, because she didn't move over on that fucking door.
Yeah.
You killed me, Rose!
Someone actually had the bottle to ask him about that, and he continues. I was like, no comment. It must have been asked. It's like only every day since 1997.
I'm pretty sure
Only every day you've asked me that.
I'm pretty sure that someone's actually, like, drawn round it and measured how much space there was there and gone, there's definitely enough space for Jack on that door.
I think people have shown the many ways that they could, like, I've seen it, like, on Instagram or something, and on one of them, they're just both just sitting there playing cards. Look at the shape of the door. I was like, yeah, that's definitely how it
You
happened.
could get that entire quaternary, the little brass band that plays the violins.
Oh,
Not brass band, obviously not his violins. Yeah, good one.
Yeah. I don't
You
know
could get
what
all of
call
those
it.
dudes on that boat.
Yeah.
That's what I want to say.
Yeah, the string quartet. String quartet?
Oh yeah.
Is that what it is?
Barber shop quartet. What?
There's only 3 of them, so it wouldn't be a
Was there only 3? Tritet. That's how it works, right?
Triplets.
I really
English.
hope no one's coming here to get there.
Good England, mate. Good
Yeah,
England.
their information.
Got some good England on me.
We've got some tritet, we've got a brass band with violins. Oh, God, hope not. Did we actually get to the conclusion of what this boat film was? Is it like...
Titanic 2, The Revenge. I'm going with that. I'm going to make it.
There is a film where they get on this massive boat at the end and it's only
People
like
are going to cry
rich
just as
people and
much as the
stuff.
first time.
I don't know.
Is it like...
Ghost Ship?
No. Is it
How-
like
is it
20,
new?
yeah, is it like 2020? Something like that?
2012.
2012, that's it.
Twen-
But it's 2020, it should be 2020. With the shit that's gone on this year.
God. How awful is it that all like the streaming platforms just released pandemic movies when COVID kicked in? It's like you're stuck in a house. This is what you're going to watch. Get
Yeah.
paranoid.
Yeah.
Do you know what's
Oh,
even
you're not
worse?
too stressed about it? Well, here you go.
Yeah.
Here's all these films.
I don't know if I've said this already, but what was even worse is I was talking to Mark ages ago. We were having a chat on PSN, and there was a crossbow company that sold out of every single crossbow they had at the beginning of the COVID.
Oh, God.
Amazing.
So it's like some people have really been watching those pandemic things.
One
thinking,
person buys toilet roll, the other one buys crossbows. 2 different people in the
I know who
world.
I'm siding with.
put them together, flaming crossbow.
It's very true, yeah.
Or
Maybe
you
that's what they
fire
were doing.
one bit of toilet paper on the crossbow and it just unravels. I don't know why you would do that though.
I want to see it.
Oh, I have to do that on one of the podcasts.
You can,
Although I can't get hold of a
You
crossbow.
fire at the top of a building.
They're on back order to 2021 now, unfortunately.
Wait, when the year just 2020 finishes and 2021's fine.
Yes, it's
so
fine.
Just, I don't need crossbow anymore. I can cancel that order.
Yeah, New Year, we're all going to be like, that was a joke, April Fool year.
It has just got the full delete, hasn't it? Like
I want to know how many people, though, at the end of last year had put 2020, new me.
Oh, yeah.
Just to be like, was it new
crying
me?
in home?
This is my year.
Yeah. I hate that whole New Year, New Me bullshit.
What's the point? What's the point? Just do it like now.
It's like you went through so much stuff in the last year. Well, I hope you do.
And you want to forget about it.
Yeah, it's like, new me, forget about that. It's like, no, you've grown as a person.
Yeah, accept it.
Unless they've gone
carry
worse.
that person round rather than...
Tell yourself that after that bottle of Prosecco, Sharon, when you're crying in your mate's arms. Sharon in HR.
Got to be. There's always a Sharon in HR. Sorry if
they've
you
gone
are
with
that.
a Karen on that one.
Karen.
Yeah, there's they're called a Karen.
Karen.
Isn't there there's a drag queen called Karen from HR?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure there is. Oh, that's gonna bother me. I'm pretty sure it is.
She comes out with lectures about photocopying cost.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a strange year this year. Definitely, it's the weirdest year ever, and it's still going on.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like there's any
Apart
end.
from 1939. That'd been a weird year.
What?
That would have been a weird year.
Why?
In 1939, Scott,
I've blanked. Tell me.
it was the start of World War II and the Nazi occupation, all right?
All right.
That would have been quite weird, I just think.
Sure. I mean, life was pretty shit back then anyway, right?
Yeah, like it needed things to shake it up a bit.
Yeah.
Probably positive,
Wasn't that
really.
during wasn't there recently
The Depression, yeah, there was lots of...
No, you had the Great Depression, then you had another pandemic, didn't you? In 1920 something?
I don't know.
It was a
Some
pandemic.
Some sort of flu, wasn't there?
The Spanish flu.
Yeah, let's go with that.
That was the last big pandemic. Was the Spanish flu.
Yeah.
But this year is a write-off for everybody.
You
I
still
think.
get better. You still
Nope.
just get the best as you can.
Yeah.
I said that right.
Just get best doing thing you can, please.
Good England again.
What was it? What are they called? It's not a quartet.
Tritec.
A tritet.
Trit it.
It sounds like that girl from the other Arnie film.
The other what film?
The Arnie film.
Terminator.
Total Recall. Was it Total Recall?
Terminator.
No, we
Kindergarten
named. We
Cop.
said.
Yeah, but it's Total Recall's the one where he's on Mars, right?
Last Action
Yeah.
Hero.
Yeah, no, the one with the woman with the 3 tits. That was what she would be called, right?
Tritec.
Tried it. Come on, that's got to deserve a wah wah wah. Oh, I got one of them instead. I'll have that.
Yeah, I did that.
Would have been better if you didn't talk over it.
It's like, let me have my moment.
Let the crickets speak.
Let the cricket hear the silence. On that note.
Because it's over.
Over. It's totally over.
I'm afraid to speak now.
Okay, so that is that's this week's episode of Let's Talk About It. This is Scott. Where can we find you?
Scott speaking on Instagram.
Chris McKenzie.
Mackenzie.strength.
No, they just looked at me.
I don't want to say where they can find me. They might find me.
He's the only personal trainer that doesn't want to be found.
Chris, where can we
course I
find
do.
you? Home.
Of course I could be found.
I was at home.
Do you know what? Next week, I'm
whole
just going to
night.
give out his home address and his home phone number. They'll be like,
Who has
"That's
a
how you
home
get
phone
hold of him."
number? I have a mobile.
Do you not have a house phone?
No.
No, I haven't either. Have you got one?
No.
No one has
You
a
got
house phone.
No. You still got to pay for fucking line rental, though.
Right. Don't get so aggressive.
Right, don't get aggressive at the end of the podcast.
Don't you tell me what to do.
Oh, God. This sign-off's...
Don't squat.
This is horrible,
Don't
isn't it?
squat and don't train ever.
I can't squat. Anyway, that's
you'll
for
be
a
fine.
different
You'll
day.
How's it...
Thank
I'm
you
not
for
injured and I can squat because these two are still injured at the moment.
Thank you for watching. I'm Kieran Innocent. You can find me at Let's Talk About It, which is Let's Hawk About It for some bizarre reason. The website is now live, so you can go to that, which is www.letstalkaboutit.co.uk. You can find our merchandise there and all of our podcasts. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again soon.